Yay! Just did a video without the mic on, but I've since discovered things. The video was managed to get this bass pickup working, and this bass here, which I was trying to buy off Jen. She's no up for it though. So I can't get so I'm now on the hunt for similar to this jazz bass, but doesn't have bits. I tried. I don't need it, but it's fucking cool. Really like it. An old 70s one. You can tell what year it is by various things like the fretboard inlays, and the fact it's got this metal cover on it. If you look up the Ibanez catalogues, it'll be there. 2! Yeah, I think that's working. It's just the VU meter shit. Yeah, so this pickup is working, but the Marshall amp has died, so I'm running through the wee Roland Microcube. So it's a non-known entity, and it's kind of sounding pretty good, but I was thinking, I think that amp's up awful loud, and then I plugged in the Schecter and it's 3 times the volume, so more issues to be solved. This pickup looks cool as fuck, so I wanted to keep it in. I wanted to see what it sounded like. I do have a possibility of jacking up a little bit higher by putting washers behind it and raising it up to get it closer to the strings, which might solve it a bit. It came with a broken pickup, one of the original Maxons, so this would be, the bridge pickup would have been one of these, which looks awful cool, but it's dead, just rewound. So I'm not sure whether, just a single coil, I don't know whether to just put that in it. I mean, if it's, I think it might, the bass might actually be sold, but whether someone would want this pickup in it, because it does look cool as fuck. You could get it rewound, you know what I mean, and then put it in, or whether, what I was going to do if I was going to get it myself, I was going to put this Dean humbucker in it, which I was thinking put that in the middle position. That gives me everything I want, because I like a P bass, the jazz bass. It sounds very much like a jazz bass, which you can't really complain about, seeing as it's a jazz bass, but it's not very loud compared to, let's get DiMarzios in it. So yeah, so instead I'm just going to play this bass for 5 minutes. I'm going on a wee bit of a guitar safari. So Hofner. This sounds so fat. There's distortion and stuff going on there as well. Quite. I should stay in key there. Every day a horse pulls up outside your house. Yeah, no, I need to either work out. You'd think it would have it, that wee Moore drummer pedal I've got. It's got a lot of sounds on it. I need that disco drum thing in my loopy pedal rig for sure. Just a very simple, even just like a. I mean, it must be the most basic machine, but I've never actually had one that actually does just the, the hooked on classics. Just boom, boom. I just want that, and for playing along with anything. I was getting a wee bit carried away there. So, in the loop pedal setup, I'm looking at keeping the orange in it, obviously for the main guitar amp, and then having either that fixed. Take it to bits, see if there's anything obviously wrong with it, get it working. Because it was alright for the house. It wasn't particularly loud, but I think maybe that was You know, it was running at half volume in here. It's 150 watt amp. 150 watt bass amp at half volume should be, oh my god, turn it off, the windows are smashing. So it's that, or maybe get some sort of wee head for it. I've never actually had a valve bass amp before. Maybe have a wee look into that. I mean, these I've got, the big one's it's got like a valve preamp section, but not an actual valve amp. Because I like my valve amps. I suppose the answer to that is like, well, why not just use one of these? Oh, I've got something down there which is rather interesting. You know, I've got my Softtech Mix 60, which I don't use very often. So I don't wear it out. But it's the best amp in the world. What's this? So the reason it's not sitting on top of that cab is because I was using it for the bass amp. But that's I'm really quite interested to see what that sounds like. So that's the MiG 50. So mine's a MiG 60. It's 10 better, obviously. But so this is like a modern thing with all modern components. I was talking to my pal he got it in a trade. I think I'm storing it for him. I don't think he's got room for it. It's going to look fucking amazing on that wee White Horse cabinet though. It's just like the perfect size. I kind of bought the White Horse cabinet for that, but I'd just rather use the 3x12 because it's a bit more interesting. So that's going to be fun. Interested to see what that does. Oh, rock on. And my interest in Guitar Safari. Okay, I can't keep it in, can I? So the thing, it's been up for sale for a while. The guy doesn't, I messaged it, it's expensive, and then he's reduced the price a fair whack because he realised nobody's going to buy it. So I messaged him, like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm going for a wee drive in the car, picking up Jen, we're going to go, like, how do you fancy a day trip out to Ayr, Troon? And the guy's like, but yeah, I've got half a dozen other guitars that I don't know if you might be interested in, cheap ones. So, what's that going to be? I don't know, have you got any photos of them? Is that, no, I'll just show them tomorrow. So there might be some cheap guitars that go with this, with no brands on them. So, I mean, the one guitar he did have is a Hofner Colorama 1962 guitar, pretty rusty, but looks pretty much complete. It might even, I don't, touch wood, I mean, it kind of looks like it's covered in red vinyl with a white pinstripe round the edges. It's very possible that the vinyl's rotted off and it's been painted matte red. It's not very good photos. So that's quite interesting anyway, so that might be quite an interesting wee guitar. It's the same as the one my pal Ronnie's got. His has just got the neck pickup. It was a very, almost like I thought his looked like a Les Paul Jr., but it's maybe a little bit more, it's not really very stratty. It's got a stratty type headstock. This has got two of those pickups in it, so it could be quite cool. It's got the wee Hofner metal plate thing, and I just happen to have two Hofner knobs, so which are missing from it. But what other guitars has he got? You're just thinking, the Hofner one must be the one that has got a brand on it, so he'll be able to Google it. Whereas the other ones, what are they going to be? There's a best case scenario, and then there's what I think is probably a bit more likely. I think it's more likely to be various, I'm thinking very cheap, maybe not Gear for Music, because they would say Gear for Music on them, but that kind of, I know Gear for Music stuff's alright. I'm thinking unbranded, really cheap sort of catalogue guitars from the 2000s sort of thing, like shit Strats and stuff. I'm kind of expecting that. But there could also be like the Sakai type guitars, assuming that they came from the same lot as this Hofner, which is a 60s one. It's also got a sticker with Paul Stanley on the back of it from the 70s, so it's, so assuming this guy was a kid, maybe it's possible whoever it was had the guitars first, maybe had that, so it's possible there's these things like the CSL there, they didn't always have brands on them. Or the jazz bass, or the P basses, or any of them, or quite often like the Avon Rose Morris Les Pauls, stuff like that, they don't have brands on them. So I mean, who's to know what's there? Could be some interesting stuff. I'm gonna have to. It's quite. I'd already invited Jen down, thinking about Jen's gonna be like, "I'll buy it then if you don't want it," and it's like, no, shh. But the Hofner could should be fun. I actually quite fancy it. I was really surprised because I've had a few of these old fashioned guitars. Also, it's quite likely to get the sort of Sakai type guitars, maybe something like that. But honestly, I'm thinking there's going to be some Argos nylon stringer type guitars. That just crap. I reckon that Hofner was the one that was in the set. The guy doesn't know anything about it. I told him that my pal's got one with one pickup, but this one's got two, so it's better. And it's red, so it's faster. And he's like, pure lol, I've no idea what you're talking about. So not knowing what the pickups are, but he said the guitar's good to go. Interesting. Anyway, so that was a wee bit of an impromptu, not really what it was meant to be video. And it's only 9:30 in the morning. Okay, it's 10:30 in the morning. I need to go soon. Woohoo! Rock on. Catch you later. I will be doing my live stream tomorrow night. Today's Saturday, yes. So I'm going out tonight, but I'm taking the car, so I'm not drinking Bucky. So I've got Bucky for tomorrow night's live stream. Rock on.